I am ready to be disappointed. Alright, it's the final Monster Hunter developer diary. I haven't filmed the other ones. They were just so
everyone.
freaking cringy.
Tsujimoto from
I'm gonna turn their volume down.
Look at this.
I couldn't hear a thing. Well, I couldn't hear a thing, but yeah, whatever.
Hunters, your attention.
Yeah.
So what we're
Castle Shroud!
Monster.
Well, we knew we were gonna do this.
In battle.
I'm concerned there's so much cutscenery and story to this. Are you not putting in the other Fatalises and Dire? I will scream. New music's nice. That's sooner than I thought.
We'll finally see the return of the legendary Elder Dragon, Fatalis. We'll talk more about Fatalis in just a bit.
You better.
We also...
Well, I mean, Fatalis is a big deal in and of
So
itself,
first,
but
I was thinking we could walk everyone through
where's the other?
Fatalis'
Nice
history
render.
and design.
Fatalis first appeared in the very first Monster Hunter as a monster only available in the game's online mode.
it was
It's a
stupid.
monster of... No one knows much about it. It's as if this mysterious creature just shows up all of a sudden. So in that game, it was a monster that would suddenly show up without warning.
Do you guys not know your own lore? Because that's not really
But
true.
we wanted to bring it back in a way that lets players challenge the beast more regularly.
What have you done?
So, of course, it's tough, right?
Don't you dare tell me you put it in a
No
siege
denying
fight.
it.
A place that goes hand in hand with Fatalis.
Pronounce it
And
wrong.
that's Castle Shroud.
Of course.
This time we've been able to realize it with Iceborne quality visuals.
Who would say it
And
like
people are gonna
that?
love it.
You
So it's
guys
sure to be a fun
really
fight.
need a new localization team. They can't speak English.
Nice.
He shows up asking for help from the Research Commission.
Nobody cares about this
He's
stuff.
a pretty big deal in the guild.
If you guys actually
players
told
are
an
already
interesting or,
familiar
you
with
know...
the excitable A-lister. He was
I'm just
actually
gonna stick with
known as the
interesting.
ace
Just
cadet
Barebone's
in Monster
interesting
Hunter
story.
4 Ultimate.
Yeah, we know.
In this update, we're going to touch a little bit on the excitable A-lister's past, when he was just an excitable cadet, so to speak.
You picked
And
the
I think that's
worst
going to be
character of that
something
game.
fans
The
will
only
be
one
very
nobody liked.
interested in. Everyone to forge.
Fatalis' gear notoriously looks
Fatalis'
kind of
armor
stupid, so I'm
design was
hoping
in
they
the
fixed
previous
it. The
games
armor
of
looks a
series,
lot cooler.
and known as the Dragon Set. But this time we've really
Yeah.
been able to get... For Palicos, we've got...
Yeah, I think you better explain this one.
On top of that, its weapon is a hunter.
Yes, that is
When
perfect.
sheathed,
I love
you can
it.
see him going for a kitty-back ride.
That's the best thing in this
Players
whole thing
really
so
need
far.
to see this for themselves.
I think everyone is interested in hearing what this set brings to the table.
Well,
Who cares
for the
though?
skills, we've prepared something very interesting.
You haven't told me how
We'll
you
be
ruined the
taking on
fight
a
yet.
Very tough opponent. So as a reward for that, it's a secret.
What?
That's so stupid.
All right, next we'd like to talk about updates to the game system.
As you know, the Clutch Claw was added as a new combat option in Iceborne.
It's really gimmicky. I don't really
And when
like
you
it.
attack, so attacking with the sword and shield causes slinger ammo to drop, but it takes 2 attacks to tenderize a monster's hide. With this, it only takes 1, and it will still drop slinger ammo. This will be a handy skill if you have space in your build.
Player
And that
armor
sounds even more
sets will
gimmicky, man.
Finally be unlocked.
Finally!
Finally be able to coordinate your fashion hunter sets to your liking.
About time,
On top
man.
of
Why
that,
didn't you
we're
just
adding
do
more
that?
Items that can be
It's all the normal stuff so far. They're flying through this. Do people
pendants are just so cute
actually
that we
spend
wanted
real
players
money
to
to
use them as
decorate their
room decor
room
as well.
in Monster Hunter World? Because they keep making these.
We've
They're
also
cute and all,
prepared some
but
decor based on giant skulls and bones.
is this really worth
so
all
you
your
can
dev
really
time?
Switch up the feel of your room.
All right, now let's talk about the next seasonal event planned for October.
This
Of
time
course.
around, we're going for a sort of horror-inspired haunted house feel.
You got me. Okay, the
The
handler's
team went
outfit's
all
terrible,
out to
but I
come up
love the
with a bunch
vampire
of
outfit.
Imaginative designs. I think that players are.
Of
going to
course, the
really
female's
like
a
them.
slutty vampire.
Yeah.
Or a succubus.
The
Was
design
she
of
a
the snowman has
succubus?
changed too.
I like haunted house theme stuff. That'll be fun.
New
At
event
least they
quests
said
per week for the
Fatalis
3
correctly.
weeks leading up to this update. They take
I don't know how you
place in
could
the
screw that
Seliana
up.
supply cache, which was
Fatalis.
attacked by Velkhana, and we can't wait for players to try them out.
Why was that not just in base Iceborne? That should have just been there. Wait a minute, are you kidding me? What?
For this developer diary, we're happy to be joined by a special guest, Yuya Tokuda, director of Monster Hunter World.
Where was Dyer and the other Fatalis?
The original Monster Hunter World was released over 2 years ago on January 26th,
Which is why I'm expecting Monster Hunter 6 to be announced next year, by the way.
After its release, of course, we'll continue to update content such as event quests, so there will still be plenty of fun to be had. Not everyone
You
has
could
been
just
able to play
add all the
content
event
that was
quests
added
at
to
once,
World.
like all the other games, so that we could just play them when we want to, because that's fun. Like they said, you don't have to dictate fun for us. Yeah, it was a nice idea. Didn't work out that well, but it was a nice idea.
It was energizing to work with
Yes.
developers from those companies, right?
We learned a ton from them.
Any developer
That's
would
me.
learn a ton
When
from CD
Iceborne
Projekt
released, you
Red.
said that
Just as a regular player.
This is awkward because it's scripted, but they're
And then I'd
pretending
come
it's
to the
not
office to
scripted.
work on
It's just
Iceborne.
really
It
strange.
was like I was real.
And they've been pretty
It's
hit or
really
miss.
great.
There's
It
been
felt
some
like
really
we were
cool
being
ones, and then
supported
there's
by the
like
fans
some
at all times.
really lull ones, and then some that are really cool but
Fatalis,
have
the centerpiece
really
of this
big
developer
problems with
diary,
them, like
wasn't
Elytrium, which is
launched
why
when
I'm nervous
Iceborne
that they're going to
started
ruin
development,
Fatalis.
right?
They haven't told us
right.
anything about it yet.
And we decided that we wanted to show off Fatalis for the first time in a while.
You also
Well,
showed
as
him
you
off
might
with
expect
Dyer
when
Morales
bringing
and the
out
other
something from
Fatalis,
the
you
past,
teases.
The old assets were dated and were kind of hard to use, even after touching them up in CG. So we decided
use them
to
all the time.
properly recreate Fatalis for the 15th anniversary, and it completely went viral on the internet. It was a huge hit. And we thought,
Well,
okay, well, we
it's
can't
because you put
not
Logi in
the
there.
game.
Did you guys not realize why? It's because you put Logi on it.
Teams could handle the work. These 2 years interacting with
I think
the fans
Stragios
has
was on it
been
too. It was like all
really
the,
enjoyable.
you know what I'm
This is
saying?
going to be the
Flagship.
final
Flagship.
free to obtain
So they
every
seriously
piece
don't
of
understand that
equipment.
picture went viral because
We hope
everyone
that
was
you'll
excited that they were going to
continue
add
enjoy
all
the
their
hunt
favorite
in
flagship
Monster Hunter
monsters
with your
that they
fellow
ended up not adding. They only added
Now I'd like to
Fatalis,
finish
who
off
was
this
technically
final
not one.
developer diary with our usual parting words.
Oh my god, it's over?
Happy hunting!
You guys are so cringy, it hurts. Are you kidding me? Okay, I was gonna say, you're absolutely kidding me. You didn't say anything about Fatalis. You didn't tell me how you ruined his fight yet. If it's a siege, I legitimately might not even bother for a long time. Am I gonna have to watch all the trailers clipped together? Oh, I remember June 13th, 2017. It was good times. I think Base World is an absolute smash, huge success. Iceborne adds like 80% awesome, 20% ugh. So it's still a success. So I'm not disappointed in it at all. But there's still, well actually, even Base World, there are a couple issues. I would say it's like 95% awesome, 5% ugh. But still, that's a lot of awesome. You can't expect them. And the things that go ugh for me were new things that they tried, so I don't pit it against them. You know, like as long as next time they either fix up those things, make them better, like siege quests, or trying to fit in like new gimmicks and stuff, trying new things out. I get that, and yeah, doing more crossovers is always fun. Mostly because it let Witcher get in. Joe's update, that was good. But I'm really sad crossover-wise that we are missing all of the Nintendo ones. Siege quests like Culve, you know how I feel about those. Not a fan. Lunastra was a random update. People really don't like Lunastra, but honestly, there's nothing wrong with Lunastra. There is something wrong with Behemoth. I love this Witcher update. The only thing is they should not have timed you during his fight with the Leshen, because you had to investigate everything, and it encouraged you to not actually play it the way that the quest was intended to be played, which is take your time and investigate things like a detective and do side quests and stuff. It just didn't work. The timer should have been shut off for that one. I mean, 3 carts, it's the same kind of as a timer anyway. I'm still not sure how I feel about Glavenus. At least they acknowledged generations. They fixed him up substantially. Acidic is cool. Acidic's really cool. Subspecies coming back is pretty cool. There was a lot of homages to 3, I felt, in this generation of Monster Hunter. Which is odd, because Logi didn't make it. Granted, they tried. That is the one thing I hope and expect more out of anything than Monster Hunter 6. I want Logi back. I want Leviathans back. I want Swimming back. and I want them to fix it, figure out how to make it better. You know, we're not playing on a 3DS anymore. You can make it really good. You can. 3DS, it was awkward because you didn't have a two stick and buttons and triggers all at the same time. You know, like, now we do. You don't tell me that we can't do it. Also, don't tell me Loggy had a weird neck thing. He was fine. I haven't even fought Frostfang yet. I didn't even care. I was waiting until a good update to come around to get me interested again. Elatrion people got some serious issues with. You're gonna show us nothing about Fatty? At least we're finally going back to that stage. I don't know why they were like, hey, let's design a stage that we only use one time. And like, it's like the battle quarters from 4. There's a ton of fights you can do there in 4. Also, Apex monsters were a thing. What happened to all the other Arch-Tempereds? It said Velkhana's coming. What about the others? I think that's something they said they could just patch in. This is just the major update. I assume that's what they meant. So if that's the case, then no Dire, no Crimson, no White Fatalis. But why? You went through the effort to make Fatalis. All you really needed to do was like change his model and texture a little bit. The animations are basically all the same, and give him a couple different attacks. That's all they are. It's really all they are. They already have heat damage they can do from Lunastra. They've already got electric and thunder. You know, that's nothing new. You seriously not even going to talk about Fatalis? You're not even going to talk about Fatalis at all? Okay, I don't even know what to think about that, because in the Elatrion one, I remember they showed off the Ascanton Judgment gimmick, and they were talking about it. And this time it's like they went out of their way to avoid that altogether. I was very nervous when I heard about Ascanton Judgment and like how powerful it was and how it basically demanded you fight in a team of 4. Especially for casuals, and forget soloing him if you're a casual. No matter how good you are, you need to be like hardcore into the meta to even have a chance, which is terrible game design. When you're intentionally excluding, I'm going to say about 95% of your player base, just because you're trying to make the 5% who is really into your meta happy. And just because that 5% maybe plays it 90% more than the 95% of the players, that doesn't mean that it's right to do, you know, because, like, there's so many people who love that monster, seeing it come back, same for Fatalis, who are going to want to know, is this thing, you know, doable? Can I do this by myself? They gave us no inclination of this whatsoever. And if anything, the only thing that they showed us was that, like, this thing just has a story with it, which I'm sure nobody cares about. Like, if there's one thing, and I touched on this in my recent God Eater review, if there's one thing Monster Hunter absolutely fails at so badly, it is their story, and their story is a mess. It is so lame. No one cares about any of the characters. They did better in the 4th game, and it's because the characters at least had more of like a drive to go forward. And, like, you felt like you were progressing because you would move from locale to locale. And, I mean, like, different places where you took on quests and you were doing them for a reason. That never happens in the other Monster Hunter games, including World. World went back to the same problems of, okay, well, we live here and there's a monster. We should kill it. All right. Don't tell me you can't do a good story with that, because God Eater does it. So, I'm sure they could do it if they honestly tried. And the fact that they keep making, like, these cutscenes and the story like this is the big deal. They're really missing the mark. And I don't want them to miss the fact that, like, hey, give the fans what they're asking for. You know, obviously within reason. So, if, like, for some reason, say, making Dire, which they showed at the end of that trailer where they showcased Fatalis. And, by the way, Dire's my favorite Elder Dragon, so I'm a little pissed off. White Fatalis and Crimson Fatalis, also both really awesome. Really wish they were here. That really sucks out loud that they're not here. Those were also showed off in that trailer that they showed when they were the 15th anniversary thing, where they were like, by the way, Fatalis is coming! And, like, we all kind of knew. At the same time, they were, like, teasing that Dire and the others were coming. I can't believe they did this. You know what it honestly feels like when Nintendo said, oh, there's gonna be you know, like all characters you're not expecting in this pass, like all characters from different companies and all that stuff, and we get like Joker, Banjo-Kazooie, and Terry, and Dragon Quest. So you're like, oh yeah, and then they show off Fire Emblem. That's how it feels. You know, it's like I feel a little lied to, but I'm sure technically I wasn't. They're like, well, it's not really violating what we said. I'm like, yeah, but it's still wrong. You know, it doesn't mean that you're justified. So little pissed about that. I don't know why. Like here, Dyer's render should have been put in 3 Ultimate in that video, because that was basically false advertising the rest of the pack of Iceborne. It is as if Smash Brothers made a trailer and showed like I don't know, Waluigi, you know, to get people excited because he's like the meme character. I would hate to have him in here, but whatever. Say they show a trailer with Waluigi and they never announce when he's coming out, and then the pass finishes and he's not coming. And they're like, well, technically he's an assist trophy in the game, so you already have Waluigi. People would be furious, you know, so it's the same kind of thing here. This does not feel right at all. And another big thing, going back to that Escanton Judgment thing with Elatrion, they showcased how that worked in his video. They did not show us a damn thing about how Fatalis fights in this. And if, like, you're forced into a team, how any of this is really going to function. They canonized how you say Castle Shroud incorrectly, so that's the next thing on the list for them to incorrectly say. I am very proud of them, I guess, for saying Fatalis correctly. I don't know, maybe we got like a 6-word limit. Never mind, we already screwed up Tigrex. But still, there's going to be something about this Fatalis fight they haven't told us because they don't want the bad PR like what happened last time. But he's going to drop and the same thing's going to happen. Or, adversely, they make him doable, and Elatrion is the end game final monster that's super hard to beat because he's got the, you know, that other gimmick. Oh my god, imagine if, like, Fatalis has a raw gimmick that you've got to build up to, like a threshold that is like a DPS check. DPS checks are never fun, so no, don't do that. I am just nervous. You know, here, let me point this out. I was going into this, I think it is the first thing I said. I am ready to be disappointed. And I usually do this on purpose, you know, hype responsibly and all that stuff. I held myself back like, okay, this is their final update. It's going to be big, it's going to be exciting, but I'm going to dial it back a bit. I'm going to just expect the very minimum. And I actually got less than that. They didn't even tell me anything about Fatalis' fight. They didn't introduce, you know, the 3 other Fatalis-like monsters who they could have, let's be honest, very easily made. They all fight very similarly to Fatalis. That is a huge letdown, but I kind of had a feeling that was happening. But even still, just with Fatalis, they didn't even show me anything about his fights. Nothing else is really coming with him. You know, each one of these main ones also had, like, another monster with it. You know, like a smaller one, like Ice or Frostfang Barioth, who I didn't really care about, but there he was. You know, it was something. We didn't even get anything. So this is like the bare minimum of what they could have done and gotten away with it. And less, actually, because they didn't even show us what it was. Yeah, so I really don't know how I feel about that. I was supposed to watch this and get excited about playing it, and I'm not. Other than the fact that I love Fatalis. If he'll finally get a figure builder now, then hey, whatever. Something good came out of this. But as of right now, no. I have no reason to be excited about the fight because they cryptically avoided talking about it. And if you do that, all I'm going to feel like is there's something in it that is going to piss me off, isn't there? And you're just not telling me what it is. We didn't even see him hit a single hunter, so we don't even, like, know in gameplay how much damage he does if he's just, like, ludicrously powerful. Which he is, by the way. He's stupidly strong. I'm pretty sure he, damage output-wise, out-damages Rajang. Like, Furious Apex Rajang from 4, he outpaces him in terms of damage. He's ridiculous. But he should be. But I have, based on their track record, I don't really trust them with getting this right now. Which kind of sucks, because like I said, Monster Hunter World, everything was great, and then they're trying new stuff, and the more stuff they try, it seems like they are getting stuff wrong the more things that they try. But anyway, I don't want to make this go on for so long, but it is the final update, so maybe here's to getting Monster Hunter 6 announced early or maybe mid next year. Be pretty exciting if we actually have an E3. That's when I expect to see it. That'd be pretty awesome. But anyway, that's it. How do you guys feel about that trailer, that diary, that tease, rather, of the final update for Monster Hunter Iceborne? Okay, let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like the videos and subscribe for more. I will see you guys in the next video. Boom!